Hey guys, welcome back to Broken Journey, the podcast. I am your host, Elva Rivera. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're having a wonderful day so far. Guys, if you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, or like you're constantly comparing your life to what you see online, this episode is for you. Today, we're talking about taking a break from social media, why it's important, how it can benefit your mental health, and what you can do instead of scrolling. And don't worry, I'm not here to tell you to delete your apps forever. This is about creating space for yourself, even if it's just a day, a week, or a weekend. It's totally up to you. So, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. Hey guys, let's be honest. Most of us spend more time on social media than we'd like to admit. The average person spends about 2 to 3 hours a day on social media apps. That's over 700 hours a year. And that is being conservative. I'll tell you why a little later in this episode. But just think about it for a second. What could you do with 700 extra hours a year? Let's take a look at some of the benefits of disconnecting from social media. The first one is reclaiming your time. When you take a break from social media, you're giving yourself back time, time that we can never get back, right? Once the hour is done, we can't say, oh, let me rewind. We just can't do that. So, you're taking your time back and using that time to spend with loved ones, on hobbies, on rest, or even just being present for yourself. And then the second thing is improving your mental health. Social media can be a wonderful tool. I know I use it a lot for recipes. When I'm tired of cooking, the things that I cook, I'm like, hey, I want to do something new. So I go on social media and I check for recipes, right? But it can also be a place where comparison thrives. And seeing carefully curated, highlighted reels can leave us, kind of feeling like we're not enough, or seeing that person with that perfect life. When in reality, we really don't know what's behind that screen, right? Because a lot of people don't want to show the negative. And anyway, who wants to see the negative of somebody's life? You know, at least for me, I like to see people thriving. I know not everybody does, but for me, I do. I don't like to see people, suffering. But again, like I said, there are some people who thrive off of that because they're miserable themselves. I said it. I'm sorry. I said it. Anyway, taking a break, can help you reset those thoughts, those patterns, and focus on what really matters most. And that's yourself, that is your family, that is things that you want to pursue in life, things that you want to do in life besides scrolling. Anyway, number three is strengthen real life connections. When you're not checking your phone every few minutes, you can be more present. You can notice more. You can listen more. And that helps deepen your relationship with the people you are around. This thing now with AI is so, like, it's so consuming, right? You go to the fast food place and an AI bot is talking to you for you to get your order, and you're just not connecting anymore with people, with individuals. And then again, some of these people have bad attitudes. I know we all go through things, but sometimes People just want to take it out on others, and unfortunately, they don't heal themselves from whatever's going on. But I digress. Number four is boost your focus and your productivity. Without constant notifications or the urge to check, who liked your posts, you can focus on work, on a project, or anything that you want to do or accomplish that's outside of social media, right? And better sleep. That's number five. No blue light, no doom scrolling at midnight, just deep, better sleep, which affects everything from your mood to your energy. And they say that don't look at your phone 2 hours before you go to bed. And that's because of that blue light, right? It kind of stimulates your mind to keep you going. I know I have a lot of issues with sleeping to begin with, because my mind is always thinking, my mind is always creating things in my mind, and nothing negative. Sometimes I'm thinking about, okay, what I got to do tomorrow and stuff like that. And, or, hey, what about this t shirt? How can I create this t shirt that I want, for myself or whatever, or so that I can sell? By the way, I own a clothing line as well. It's called Broken Journey Apparel. So I will put the link in the show notes if you want to check it out. Anyway, guys, and again, better sleep is good. And I want you to remember, taking a break doesn't mean you have to disappear forever. It could be logging off for the weekend or setting an app limit for 30 minutes a day, or maybe deleting one or two of those apps. We have so many apps right now. It's like I got TikTok, I got Instagram, I got Facebook, I have Snapchat, I have Threads, I'm like Lemonade or whatever the heck, Lemon 8, whatever the heck that thing is called. Like, too many social media. Like, it's just too much, right? And I know that there's another one coming out soon. I don't remember the name, but like, just take, some time to deactivate yourself from social media, you know? Now, before we go into some activities you can do while offline, let me just share my experience with taking a break from social media. So, a few weeks ago, I decided to take a 5-day break from social media. And now, what I did was I have an Android, and there's a digital well-being and parental controls app on my phone. I heard that the iPhone also has it as well. And what I did was I took and checked off all social media, my brain games, and whatever other social media that I did not want to get on, that I spend a lot of time on. Let me just say that. And I checked them off that I have zero time to spend on there. Like, literally, I could not get on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads. I couldn't get on Snapchat. I couldn't get on any of my brain games. I can't remember the name of them. I just have them on there whenever I want to, like, distract myself from maybe stress from work and things like that. But anyway, I decided to do that, and it was crazy how not sitting down on my sofa and scrolling, how productive I was. It's embarrassing to say. It's embarrassing to say, but I had, when I would look at my time, I was on like 10 hours, 10 hours a week, 12 hours a week. I was like, yeah, how could you be on this damn app so long? I'm like, what the hell was that all about? But anyway, I am being vulnerable here. I'm telling you how long I was on my social media apps. Again, you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Pinterest, you have all these apps that when you're done scrolling on one, you scroll on the next one and the next one and the next one. And that's how you get yourself in that rabbit hole of being on social media so many hours. And so that whole week, let me tell you, I did so much. I went and I organized my office space. I went and organized one of my spare bedrooms. I went and I decluttered my refrigerator. I went and read a few pages in a book. I took some time to just relax. I took some time to meditate. You know how long it's been since I've meditated? Like literally, like I'm going to say like 6 to 8 months. So, you know, being off of social media, that kind of, again, gets you into a rabbit hole, you know. How do I say this? It felt good. It felt good. I felt productive. I felt like I wasn't wasting time. And now what I did was I kept my phone to have 1 hour a day. And even with that, that's still a lot. But again, like I said, sometimes I go on to social media and I look for recipes. And when I look for recipes, I have to pause it so like that I can see what the recipe is or the ingredients is. And then the thing times me out. So again, you know, it doesn't have to be permanently, right? It can just be temporary. But doing that really made me realize that I was spending a lot of time on social media. So, guys, here are some activities that you can do indoors. You decide the break that you want to take. And maybe, that first day you're reaching for your phone out of habit, and that's normal. It's normal because I did it and I was like, shit, I have no time. I'm like, it has 0 hours. But, here are some things that you can do instead, Again, read that book that you've been meaning to start or finish, right? Or maybe just read an extra 10 pages a day. And those add up, right? Journaling, writing down your thoughts, your goals, or even a daily gratitude list. Those are so important. Sometimes we don't we go, let me not say that we're not grateful, right? Because I'm sure that everybody's grateful for something. But sometimes we just think about the bigger things, right? Like, oh, I'm so grateful I have a house, or I'm so grateful I have a car. How about I'm so grateful I can see? How about I'm so grateful I can hear? How about I'm so grateful I can walk? How about I'm so grateful I'm healthy? Those are some of the things that we don't think about because we're thinking about the bigger things, right? And, you'll be surprised at what comes up when you start slowing down and, thinking about things that are more meaningful than scrolling on social media. And then try a new recipe or bake something fun. Maybe spend time with the kids if you have children or your grandkids, and, take some time to do a new recipe, or take the kids outside for a little while, take them for a walk, a stroll, or to the park. you know, Cooking can be therapeutic, right? I mean, maybe not for everybody, but I know I like it. And then, you can end up doing something delicious. You never know. Again, you need to look at a few people on TikTok. I love, what's her name? I forgot, Diana Bomchica. She is amazing. I think she's Italian, and she does some really good dishes. And there's a few other people there too. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. But anyway, declutter a space in your home. I did that. I did that in my office. I decluttered some files from last year, like, my flex spending folder and other things like that. So, decluttering your home. Maybe your closet, maybe there's clothes that don't fit anymore that, you can donate. Your kitchen, like I did. I decluttered my refrigerator, my cabinets, and just looked through things that may be expiring, in a month or so, pushing them up to the front to use them. Or even, your digital files. Maybe you have some digital files that you have saved, and some things you may not need anymore, right? Pick up a creative hobby. Maybe painting, coloring, scrapbooking, or doing puzzles, or maybe doing a DIY. I wish I had more talent with that, but I digress. I have all the ideas, but I don't have the skill to do it. Maybe I'll try something out one day. But anyway, do some home workouts or try yoga, or try some breathing techniques, right? You don't need to do anything fancy. You don't need to have fancy equipment. You can just go on YouTube and look for free videos with at home exercises. There are plenty of people who do exercises with no equipment, no fancy equipment. You can take 2 cans of beans and start with that if you're starting brand new with weights, and then pick it up a notch every little while. And then maybe play board games or card games with your family if you have a family. If you're alone, then maybe call a friend and ask them to go and to dinner for an impromptu dinner or impromptu lunch to hang out, you know, or have a beer or something, watch a game. Anyway, those are some of the ideas. you know, Bring it back old school. Before social media was such a big thing, there were so many things to do outside. And I know there's some people who are not fortunate like me who have, the good weather here in Florida. Um, you know, there are other places where it's very cold, but maybe you can do some indoor activities, to help you with that, right? The goal is just to fill your time with things that feed your soul, not drain it. So now let's talk about getting outside. Nature has a way of helping us reset, and being offline makes it easy to be present out there. So go for a walk in your neighborhood or on a nature trail. And I wouldn't leave your phone behind, but maybe put it on silent mode or listen to, your podcasts like mine, Broken Journey, the podcast. Or, listen to some music. But just remember, when you are walking in a nature trail and things like that, or in your neighborhood, make sure that you have one ear only, with the earbud or the headphones, so that way you can, protect yourself. Listen to people in the back, or if there's anybody walking around you, your surroundings basically. Anyway, visit a park and have a picnic. Bring a book, a snack, and just enjoy the fresh air. Or have a book party with some of your friends. Or is it called a book club? I think it's called a book club. Yeah, maybe do that once a month. Go out with your friends and say, hey, let's have a book club meeting or something like that to discuss, a book that you all reading together. You can ride your bike, explore areas that you're not used to going around. And if you live near the water, the beach or a river or a lake, spend some time there. Grab a chair and just sit next to the water to hear the soothing sounds, right? The calming sounds of the water. Um, and maybe put some meditation music, right? Just don't fall asleep. Just kidding. Anyway, some more outdoor activities. Play a sport. Shoot hoops with your friends, play tennis, or just toss a frisbee or a football with, with one of your kids, or do some activities with your friends. Again, I'm for the friend thing. Sometimes, again, we get so caught up in the social media that we don't, take time to spend with loved ones. And it's so important because tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow's just not promised. And we just never know when that person is, not going to be here with us, or if that person gets sick and you're unable to spend time with them because they're so sick. Anyway, try something adventurous like kayaking or canoeing if that's accessible to where you live, right? I'm sure there might be somewhere, but some places are like an hour, 2 hours away. But, do something outdoorsy. And, like one of my favorite is watching the sunset. I love watching the sunset. You know, every time you look at the sunset, there's always different colors and, just like beautiful. It's like a masterpiece, I say. There's no filter needed, it's just looking at it and seeing the awe of God's creation, right? So these are moments you can fully experience without feeling the need to post about them. And they can just be for you and your family, you know, something for that you guys can share together, right? Like an experience with, your spouse, experience with your children, if you have little children, or with your grandchildren, or, with a friend, just spending some time talking with each other and not picking up the phone while you're talking with with your friend, or, making sure that you're present when you are with the people that you love because their time is precious. So, guys, in closing, here's my challenge for you. Take a break this week. Maybe it's just a day, maybe it's just the weekend, or maybe longer, a week, a few weeks. But just give yourself the gift of being offline for a little while and see how it feels. Notice what changes. Do you sleep better? Are you less stressed? Do you feel more present with your family or with yourself? And when you come back online, if you even want to, I'd love to hear how it went. Send me a message or leave a comment on this episode and tell me how you feel about taking a social media break. Or share this episode with a friend who might need this reminder too, right? Taking a break from social media isn't about missing out. It's about tuning in to your life, to your peace, and the things that really matter, right? And even for yourself. There's so many things going on in this world right now, and it's not about politics. It's about the things that are going on that really hurt people. Just seeing the racism, just seeing the tragedies from the floodings in Texas, just so many things going on that it can really bring your mood down. And sometimes you don't realize that those are the things that are bringing you down, right? So, guys, again, share this episode with someone who needs a reminder. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your peace. There's nothing like having peace in your life, right? And guys, I have one more thing to tell you. After this episode, we will be going on YouTube. So, going forward, we will have video. I am so excited and so nervous at the same time. But anyway, this is my challenge for myself, and I'm excited about it. So, next week's episode is going to be amazing. It's a two-part series, and I can't wait for you guys to listen in. And we have video. So, going forward, we will have video, and we're working through the imperfections. So, guys, thanks again for listening in to Broken Journey, the podcast. You don't know how much I appreciate you listening in and taking the time to spend time with me on Broken Journey, the podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening. And again, don't forget to share. Share your thoughts on what you did with your social media break. Bye, guys.